Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another autocross car build. My vehicle today is the Opel GT, a car that I am expecting to be pretty damn fast. This could well be a competitor for the top of the table. It is small, it is very, very light, and I suspect when we put all of the other race parts on, we'll probably change direction incredibly quickly. It does start off at E-Class, so lots of room for upgrades here. First thing we're going to be wanting is race tyres. I will go through put the handling parts on before we decide what to do with the engine. Now the tyre widths are likely to be small on this car. 205s at the front, eventually. There we go. And we're going to get 235s on the rear. It's not ideal, of course. I always want larger tyres. I'm hoping, though, that this is going to be a very, very light vehicle. And A-Class, of course, is not going to be maxed out on power by any means. So we shouldn't have too many control issues. I mean, there is always potential for there to be oversteering moments with, I suspect, the amount of power we're going to get into this. We will have to wait and see, really. Right, of course, we're going to be wanting the race brakes, the race suspension, the weight reduction. I'm wondering how light we can get this vehicle down to. Perhaps we can get it, so we had 1,822. However, of course, we are going to want the roll cage in this. It's going to add a little bit, so 1,915. The engine is going to be the big thing. I don't actually know what engines can go in this car. I assume probably the Turbo Rally will be one of them. Maybe the Honda 4-cylinder will be another. It could be quite a few options. What have we got? Yeah, the Honda 4-cylinder. Oh, we can get the 5.7 litre V8 or the 3.7 litre V6. The conundrums. The conundrums. What do we go for? I'm kind of tempted by the i4, purely for lightness. The V8 is, again, it's heavier. The V6 is slightly heavier. What do we go for? Or do we go for the V6 and go for sort of exhaust, and that will bring the weight back down again quite nicely, I think. Ooh, what engine? What engine? I think I'm going to go for a V6, actually. I don't think I've used this in a autocross build. So, yeah, let's have a go with the V6 in this car. We will probably be keeping it naturally aspirated. My slight fear with the Honda probably would still be good to get to top of A-Class, keeping it naturally aspirated and so on. But this is, yeah, it's a little bit more to work with from standard. Let's get that exhaust on. That will save somewhere. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more out of this. The PI is not going up too quickly, despite adding in these performance parts, which is nice to see. We're going to crack 400 horsepower in this car. Consider just how light this vehicle is. 110 horsepower in the little Opel GT. I suspect this thing is going to really, really shift around this course. It is actually, before I do that, I will just go and have a look at these. What are we looking? 3.8. I don't think we're going to have stupid gear ratios. We could go for that. That's just lowers the PI, despite not changing anything really. It makes it far. Why on earth would that lower? Yeah, we're having that. That gives me more PI. I can get more power and so on in the vehicle. We will most definitely want a diff. Now we're putting 400 horsepower through a car that had 90 to start with. All right, back to engine again. Can we? Oh, now we can get the. Yeah, it was definitely worth putting that gearbox in. 428 horsepower, 350 foot-pounds of torque. There is far more power and torque in this than we had in the 911. Yeah, and it's far lighter. Question is, will we have the handling? That is the big question really with this vehicle. Let's get that there, or remove that there as well, save some more weight. There we go, and I'm suspecting we're not going to be able to get any more. No, it's going to be asking a bit too much, having got the bumper off. Right. The Opel GT is ready to go. I suspect we will have a blisteringly fast accelerating car. This is all going to come down to just how well can the Opel get through the very narrow turns. Of course, to test out the GT, we have come to the Hockenheim circuit, where it will get 3 runs through the autocross course in an attempt to beat our current leader, the Renault 5 Turbo, that has a lap time of 2:05.2. this might be a car that's possible of doing it, if it is controlled enough. That is the big thing with these classic, high-powered, very lightweight sports cars. They can be incredibly fast. The top of the table is pretty much dominated, with the exception of the 911, dominated by classic cars. However, they can also be rather scary to drive. I'm thinking of the Opel Kadett. We've actually got quite a lot of understeer in... Oh god, in this, and the brakes brakes are not particularly good. That's something to be concerned about, really. Acceleration is immense, and there's no rear end grip, and then there is very little in the way of grip, huge amounts of acceleration, and then very, very little in the way of braking. It's not really an ideal combination for autocross. I suspect if you can get things right, this would be a very, very fast... I can't stop the car for that section. This will be a very, very quick A-class race car, because that acceleration is just absurd. But we're not... Okay, we can't... We can go 122 down there, and it'll probably be the quickest car by a mile. The problem is we can't get stopped from that speed. We're going to have to brake super early. Now the back end's letting go on me and everything. It's all a bit of a handful. A bit of a handful. This may be maybe one of the most difficult cars I've had to drive, purely because of this insane speed and coupled with the terrible, terrible braking. That's almost 120 down that section. No car gets as quick as this through any of these other sections. I wonder if we can get to 120 before the hairpin. I'm sure we could, but we'd never ever get it stopped. This is so quick. If I can get the braking sorted, that is the main thing with this car. The handling isn't bad. I mean, it's quite understeery, and if you abuse the throttle, very oversteery. But the handling isn't too bad. Oh, that was a very close call on the barrel. I didn't even see it wobble. Yeah, if I can get the braking sorted, maybe we could have a very, very quick time. There's so many gates clipped in that one there. It was like 6 gates clipped. It was not good. Not bad on that one. Yeah. That's a bonkers car. Alright, second attempt at keeping control of this crazy car. Yeah, if I can get a smooth run, it is definitely going to be a case of having to be ultra smooth with the car. You can't really attack the corners with this GT because there isn't the braking or the grip. It's very much going to be a case of get the car slowed down, try and get it through a corner neatly, and then maximise the acceleration out of the turn. That's what we're going to have to do with this car, because it is just so very quick and so very little in the way of grip. I really don't trust it through that first high-speed section. Not in the way that I trusted the Porsche, for example, or quite a lot of the other cars. Admittedly, I could probably go a little bit faster, and we'll try next time round. But yeah, I would like to just get the car through the gates cleanly here. That's going to be the key. I mean, that's a lot slower through there than we have seen, but then it picks up speed so quickly. I'm having a lift because there's no way that's going to get around there. The understeer is just too great for that section. Right, we are being neat and tidy so far. Now, careful with the Kadett. Of course, I'm wanting to get to full throttle as quickly as I can, but it will still spin the wheels up very easily. I think second gear may well be quite a nice gear to be using around here. Oh, a little bit of oversteer through that section. Hey, we got a car sliding through there again. That's 121 down here. So fast. This is really something else, this car. There is so much power for such a little car, and even on a tiny course like this, it is insane. I suspect that the little run towards the finish line may be, or maybe part of what does this car in, because it is not going to be quick through that wiggly section where the Renault 5 was so monstrously fast. This thing is, the front is just not going to get turned around here. However, when we can unleash all of the power, it is epically fast, accelerating towards the line. It's a 209.1. It's yeah, maybe I can get in the 208s if I can find some time on this final run. It's it's such a crazy car. So on to the final run with the Opel. I love this car. I absolutely love this vehicle. It is not at all suited to autocross, though. This is very much a case of having far too much power, really. It kind of far too much speed for its own good, and not enough in the way of the grip. It just can't get through these turns. And the acceleration is fantastic on this car, and that would make for a great A-class car and so on. But that was so fast through there. It was absolutely on the limit of what the Opel can do. Yeah, the acceleration is amazing. By far the most spectacular we've seen from any car. Problem is, even with a full handling build on here, it doesn't have enough grip through these turns. Right, slow in here, try and get the power. That was much quicker. Okay, I am doing better with this car. We're going to have a lift, because otherwise we will understeer. It's 120, and I am braking so much earlier. I'm braking so much earlier than just about everything else that has gone around here, and yet it still hits 120 on that section. Right, we wiggle our way through there. I am going to keep it in second through here because of the kind of insane insane car. We will be just a fraction wide, even in second. The back end is wanting to come around and say hello a little bit. We're going on the brakes here nice and neatly again, trying to get everything under control, sort the car out, and then unleash all of the power down towards the hairpin once more. Just a few more gates to go. Don't let the understeer catch you out around here. It does a tiny little bit. It's a shame. This car had some bigger tyres on it. I can only imagine just how epically good it could be. If this had sort of maybe, I don't know, 245s on the front, 285s on the rear or something, how fast this car could get around corners. It's just there's not the grip there in it for this kind of thing, which is a shame, because it is it's so quick. 208.0 on that final run. I'm pleased with that. That was that was a good final run. I think I was a fraction wide coming into that last section. That may have cost me a little tiny bit, but yeah. I really like that car. I really like that car for its utter stupidity, and it is not suited for autocross in any way. But that acceleration is just on another level compared to everything else that has gone here. Yeah, I highly recommend building one of these cars and having a play around with it, because that is some serious speed in this. Yeah, I'm lost. I mean, I expected it to be quick, but not quite that level of quick. The lap time, it's not bad. It's not bad, considering the difficulties this thing has through the gates and the amount of out of controlness that this car is. It's 208.0 will put it into 23rd place. It's 0.2 of a second down on the Mazda RX-5. It's only 0.3 of a second down on the BAC Mono. It beats the Ford Mustang. It beats the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Beats the Honda NSX as well. Yeah. It makes up for its struggles through the corners with such brutal acceleration. Nothing else accelerates like this car. Not around this autocross course. We haven't seen anything as fast as this. Shame it can't quite get change direction as well as a lot of the top vehicles. But there we go. That is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.